Welcome to Faith Stories with Dawn DeMarco Buck. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they will see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Hi, welcome to Faith Stories. I am so excited. You have no idea. I'm just like off the charts right now. So I just want to thank you for joining Faith Stories. And this is going to be an amazing show. I have three wonderful women that I just recently met. I feel like I've known them forever. But we're going to start with Monaco, Pearson. And Anne, I want you to tell me, because the whole theme for today, sorry.
It's okay. I'm just out of tune right now.
Is Hands of Love. And so can you just share just a snippet of Hands of Love song? And
Right. So we're going to just play a little bit of it just to introduce this wonderful book that we're going to be discussing. So just to give you an idea that I wrote the song because I was so inspired by the book. And also a verse that is prominent in the book, the Ephesians, I have it right here, Ephesians 2:10, which says we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus so we can do the good things he planned for us long ago.
Amen.
Sound familiar?
Now, had you seen the artwork at that time?
I was inspired by the book.
Okay.
So the book, yes, and the artwork, the words, it was just amazing just to feel God's love, which I wasn't feeling at the time, going through a bad time in my life, but this was just so inspirational, and I said, I think I'm going to write a song about it.
Isn't that awesome? So share a couple bars, and what we're going to do is we're going to have her sing the rest of the full song near the end of the segment, so stay tuned.
I am your masterpiece, you created me, and I will glorify you through eternity. Your love has promised me a joy I never known. Each step I take, I know I'll never walk alone. I am the sheep in need. You have rescued me, and you protect me from the schemes of the enemy. You light the path, and I will follow you. Every step I take reveals your holy word, your joy is true. These hands of love holding me when I am crying out for you to heal my wounds. These hands of love bring me hope and bring me peace. They cover my heart. Oh, what a song.
Oh,
To be continued.
yes. That was so incredibly beautiful. Listen, we're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Taville Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida. For all your residential needs, call Jan at 954-341-1632. Again, 954-341-1632. I Am Guarded Security Systems has specialized in security, CCTV, medical, and fire protection. Our staff of professionals can always tailor a security system to fit your needs and budget. I Am Guarded Security Systems, serving South Florida for close to 40 years. Visit our website at www.iamguarded.com. faith.iamguarded.com or call 954-752-6900. Welcome back to Faith Stories. One of the strongest gifts from the Lord is prayer. If you have a prayer request, please email me at dawndbook@gmail.com. And we're back. Okay, so now we're going to bring in the other two amazing and beautiful ladies, Linda Cucci and Allegra Spauding. So, girlfriends, I feel like I've known you guys, all three of you, forever. I've known them for about 2 months, okay? But it's because of our sisterhood in Christ. Yes. So I want you guys to share how Hands of Love, how you came to write it, how you came to draw it, and then also you chime in too because she's singing, "Oh, it's not working." Okay, so I don't know what you heard, but okay, so I'm introducing Linda Cucci and Allegra Spauding, and they are two amazing women along with Anne. I feel like I've known these ladies forever, and so Linda wrote the book called Hands of Love, and Allegra, her amazing paintings behind them, and they are so powerful. So I want you guys to just share how that all came about, and then Anne can chime in, and I'll chime in if I have a question. How's that?
Perfect. Sounds great.
So, Linda, go.
Okay. So is my mic on?
Yes.
Okay.
You don't hear it, but they hear it in there.
Okay.
And if they hand you a mic, that means you're not hearing. So there you go.
Okay. Okay. So the thing about Hands of Love that's so beautiful is the story behind the story.
Right.
Because Allegra and I both know that this was all the Lord.
Sure.
We met at church. We were in the same Bible study group, and we were invited to a little get-together at someone's house on a Sunday. And we just were having a conversation, really, again, as the body of Christ, just enjoying time together. But, you know, Jesus always comes up, right? Yes. So
don't you just love that?
I just love that. Like, you can't not talk about him when he's touched your life. And
what else is there to talk about?
Yeah, that has any importance.
Well, when he's a part of your life and he's in you, you have to talk about him.
Yeah.
You know, you have to share because your light shines through his light shines through us. So anyways, go ahead.
And, you know, it's so natural because we have those aha moments knowing this is a divine appointment. Right. So as we started to just talk, I was sharing about a person's ministry that, you know, I had gone into the prisons, and she was an artist, and I said, wow. Allegra, you're just like this artist I met, and you should paint a Bible study. And then she famously said,
and you should be the mouthpiece.
Perfect. Don't you love how that works?
It was just like lightning struck at that moment, right?
It was such a divine appointment.
Yeah.
So then I went home.
Okay, pause for just a second. What does we know what divine appointment means, but people who may be watching may not know what that means. So just give us a little explanation about what that means.
It means it's an encounter that was designed by God.
Thank you.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went home and I was praying to the Lord about, you know, I wasn't even that serious about it. I was like, well, what do you think about what Linda said at the party? I was just talking to the Lord.
Yeah.
And then, boom, I get this vision. And the vision where's the baby? It was this painting here. And
you know what? I'm going to do me a favor. Can you just grab that Can you grab that? Because I want them to see a little bit more. I know it's on the easel, but I think it's so important. Maybe put it in front of you guys.
Yeah,
Here.
Okay,
I know. I just have, because it's so beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do it that way. Okay.
Well, that's
we have to hold it up just a little bit.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Cool.
Quite
All right.
So that was the first vision that I got, and that's God's the creator and we're the creation. And he started downloading the scriptures. And this went on for quite a few days. I started getting all these visions with the different scriptures, and I realized after a few days that I was getting the outline for a Bible study, just like she had spoken. She had prophesied. Right. And just like she had spoken, I was getting this outline for a Bible study, and I got 6 paintings. There ended up being 7 paintings, but I got 6 paintings, and then I called Linda.
So one of the, you know, sometimes when we're on this journey of faith, we have moments that are so undeniably the Lord.
Right.
You know, and like Allegra said, a divine appointment.
Sure.
It wasn't a coincidence.
No.
It was God's providence.
There are no coincidences.
Right.
It's God.
In faith,
it.
we know that,
Yeah.
but the world sees things from a different perspective.
Sure.
But this is one of those moments that you can't deny, really.
Mm-hmm.
So in that conversation, like Allegra said, it wasn't like real deep or anything. It was kind of like,
A stirring.
sounding fun,
Yeah.
you know, the dream, the thought. But she gave me a verse before we left each other, and
Mm-hmm.
it was, she couldn't remember the address, but she spoke the verse.
Right.
And it was the verse, actually, that set this study in motion. And it's from Isaiah 49:16. See, I have engraved you on the palm of my hands. And I went home that night hearing that verse over and over. She was getting the artwork.
That is
I was getting the word, and it was all happening, again, to two strangers who, you know, just
We
met.
hardly even knew each other.
That's what she told me when
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, are you kidding me?
But
You
the-
guys didn't know each other yet. God brought you two. I mean, that just doesn't happen without divine intervention.
Exactly. And it was really kind of a hardship for me because all of these paintings are hands. The last thing an artist wants to paint is hands. I mean, a lot of times, you know, you see artists put hands in pockets
Right.
or they put, you know. So the Lord was really challenging me to follow his leading and put myself in that position to
And you
paint hands.
did
Yeah.
an amazing, beautiful.
I mean, it took a lot of faith for me to step out and paint all
Yeah.
of these hands
Yeah.
because every painting is the hands of God.
Oh my.
And it was
gosh.
like pretty much almost, you know, it was months that this process was happening.
Yeah.
But in that one divine moment when God revealed the morning after our conversation
Mm-hmm.
through Bible study that I had been doing for 9 weeks, he brought me to this verse, the very verse that Allegra had asked me to pray about. And she didn't give me the address at the time,
Right.
but in my study book it said go to Isaiah 49:15.
Well, God knew.
In that and in
He
that
knows,
moment,
man.
I mean, it was like, and in this conversation in my study, in the commentary,
Yeah.
it said, the Lord is painting a portrait and he has put you in it. And it was the study of Paul's
Amazing,
life,
right?
the Apostle
I'm
Paul's
gonna try
life.
and not cry during this.
Yeah.
Because that is powerful.
It was beyond either one of us.
Oh my gosh.
And again, he's downloading. He's giving her the vision. You know, where there's no vision, there's no
Right.
no
No
nothing.
direction, yeah.
There's nothing.
But
there's
he was
darkness.
giving her the vision, and his word was just being magnified
Right.
in my heart. So then the process, this journey began, where Allegra would paint
I'd
like
paint,
all
I'd
day
finish this
long
painting and then I would bring it to her.
and bring it to my
And
it
then
would
the words would come.
and then it would sit in my house for 1 month, and I would look at it, and the Lord was waking me up at 3 in the morning because I have
Wow.
like such ADD. If there's a pin drop, I can't think. So just the fact that he was calling me to write a book was a miracle, because I kept saying, you know who you're
That
talking
would be
to?
like me because I'm.
Yeah.
The way I speak is the way I write. And
Well,
oh well. you
and
know?
and so do I, and there is Hands of Love, the way. But you know what? As I would gaze at these and pray, God would just, again, her verses that God was giving her, you know, it was just all coming together, and we knew it was beyond us. But it was a journey, and
Yeah.
it was a dying to self because we had to let God lead.
Sure.
And, you know, we're both confident in ourselves, but we had to be completely humble
Stripped.
before the Lord, you know,
Yes. Yeah.
humble and broken before him if he was going to do anything good.
Yeah. So okay. So how long was that process? How was it? Months? Was it a year? Was it? How long did that
A
take?
couple of years. I mean,
Well, the process
like-
so the painting process and the writing process was about 8 months.
Okay.
Because it took a month a chapter.
Sure.
Which is pretty like fast when you
Right.
think
Yeah,
about
no
it.
kidding.
For somebody who doesn't know how to write, and someone who she was already, God had already
Painting.
given her the gift to.
How long had you been painting before you started like this?
okay, well, I didn't know I could paint until I was
Right.
42.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, when I got born again, and this gift came flying out, which was a supernatural gift, and it was, kind of came out and it was on steroids. It just
Yeah.
because I never took a painting class. So
is so
all of this is
incredible.
very supernatural.
It totally is.
Yeah,
it totally
and
is.
God uses the foolish things of the world to confound the wise, right?
That was like
Totally.
my favorite verse when I first got saved. I was like, oh, I'm in then. I guess I'm in. I guess I
we
qualify. I guess I qualify.
So I want to bring Anne into this because she's got so you guys had been doing this, and then Anne, how did you come into this whole amazing?
Yeah, speaking of supernatural,
right,
like
right, exactly, yeah.
I was being mentored by Linda because I was going through a really difficult time in my life, and we had stopped the Restoring Relationships program that we were doing, and she said, you need to understand God's love for you, because I really didn't feel it
Yeah.
at the time. So she said, you need to read this book. Let's do this study, The Hands of Love. And of course, I was being rebellious because I have that.
Although when it's like, yeah, no, I'm good. And then
So,
you're like, yeah, he keeps
I
not doing this to you. Hello.
I know. I took it home and I read it, and I did get inspired. And I wrote the song pretty quickly. I mean, kind of like in an instant, because I was reading it, and a lot of the words I used
Okay.
in the song. But you know, as you may know, when you write music, the lyrics have to really go with the melodies, and so. But it was there. I mean,
Yeah.
mostly it was
I
there.
downloaded it to you.
But the strange thing was, when I brought it to her, I brought my guitar into one of our sessions and said, hey, you know, I wrote the song and I wanted to play it for you. And she didn't know what was going on. And then she was crying profusely, which I thought was a little out of the ordinary.
Well, you know,
for her.
well,
you know,
Very emotional.
I'm emotional.
Well,
I
see,
would
Tally,
say.
I'm like that too, though.
Yeah,
You guys.
but
you
there was
know,
a reason why she was crying.
But you know, there
so.
was, so, I mean, again, my burden that the Lord had given me, I've never been a single mom, but I saw such an injustice. And, you know, I would meet these women, which wound up being, you know, and being one of them, but, you know, the women that are on the cover of Hands of Love represent the brokenhearted that I would meet and mentor. And so, you know, again, Allegra and I came together in this lightning bolt kind of way, and she's painting and the word is coming together. And it was really, for me, it represented that we see a lot of people that love Jesus that struggle to really overcome and really rise above their hurts or just be healed from them.
Right.
And we really, you know, I had a revelation that without knowing his love, it's impossible, really, truly, to know who we are. So Hands of Love is really about finding our identity in him, because we're all trying to conform to something.
Right.
And
And
tell
don't
them about-
conform to the world.
well, and that's the problem. Without knowing him, you do.
Yeah, of
We
course
all
you
do.
Because
We
all
want to
walked
fit
that journey
in. We
before
want
knew him,
attention. But then again, and I mean, I was a relatively new believer also. I mean, I got saved
you?
at
I didn't-
40,
Did you? Okay.
you know, and this was 12, 13 years ago.
Right.
So, you know, I mean, in talking about, you know, your faith journey, it's forever.
Of course it is.
So-
And you know, God is always tapping on your shoulder. It's just you're not listening, you know, in your younger years. And then as you get older, it's like, okay, so I'm making all my decisions and I'm really messing my life up. And that's when I decided, okay, Lord, work on me.
That's right.
Show me what I need to change, because I was the part of the equation. So, you know, so I think it's really amazing that you guys, I am so blown away how this all came to be.
But I wanted to say the supernatural part was that she had said to me, I always knew there was going to be a song,
That's right.
and
Yeah,
she had asked the worship team to write something,
it's
right?
Everybody I know
she knew.
that sang and
Nobody was willing.
And there was a
No,
lot
but
of
that was the
calls.
Lord
There
prompting
was a lot
her,
of
yeah.
closed,
Exactly.
a lot of closed doors. Which again, you know, on this journey, we have to trust Him with every detail. But
Yep.
sometimes, you know, again, the no's and the disappointments they build up. But God, you know, again, in His sovereign plan, knew that Anne
was to
would
be the one.
she would be so ministered to. So it was 3 years after
Yeah.
the book was published that she actually
Awesome.
You know what?
gave
I
the
also-
song.
Hang on a second. We have to go to a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll hear what you want to share, both of you.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Taville Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida. For all your residential needs, call Jan at 954-341-1632. Again, 954-341-1632. I Am Guarded Security Systems has specialized in security, CCTV, medical, and fire protection. Our staff of professionals can always tailor a security system to fit your needs and budget. I Am Guarded Security Systems, serving South Florida for close to 40 years. Visit our website at www.iamguarded.com or call 954-752-6900. Welcome back to Faith Stories. One of the strongest gifts from the Lord is prayer. If you have a prayer request, please email me at dawndbook@gmail.com. And welcome back. So I want to throw it over to Allegra and Ann because they were going to say something and I abruptly cut them off because we had to go to our
okay.
sponsors. So Allegra, why don't you go first?
Okay, I just wanted to mention that Linda and I used to get together and pray. We would pray that the study would go into the prisons, the women prisons, and we prayed that it would go overseas. And so we ended up going into, the three of us went into the women's prison down in Fort Lauderdale and took Hands of Love in there. We even smuggled in the pictures.
Amazing.
The pictures and a guitar, which is like,
How do you smuggle a picture of a guitar?
It was a miracle that we even got them in. It was,
That was God intervening.
again,
yeah,
behind the scenes.
but that was so powerful. And then we went to India. And why don't you tell them the
Oh, you're
story in
kidding.
India? Yeah. Well, there was kind of a twofold thing. We painted a mural
yeah, that's
in a
right.
rescue home for the little girls, and then we taught Hands of Love. So, Linda, you.
You know, in India, you know, again, spiritual warfare on a whole nother
Oh,
level.
my gosh.
Whole nother level. We didn't know what we were getting into until we were in it. And but one of the treasures there was this safe house with these precious little girls. And it just reminds us that God sees everyone. And that as far away as he may seem to us, he reached down from heaven and touched these girls.
Oh,
lives
yes.
and their hearts. And we were able to, I mean, Allegra ran the whole art project.
Oh.
And then,
Sweetheart.
Pull you.
Closer.
No.
No, your mic.
The mic.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm not loud enough. But we got to do Hands of Love with like 5-year-old little girls that were rescued from trafficking that would have found a life as a temple prostitute. So, you know, we fought fire with this study.
You did.
You know, it looks
Yeah.
like this tender, sweet, and it is.
It is,
but
but it isn't.
also can be fire because
Right.
when you learn your identity in Christ, you can't be deceived any longer. And the devil will tempt us.
Oh, yes,
But we, if you cling to his promises, and each one that God gave Allegra in this study is really what has sustained us on our journeys. Like, you can't just talk about it. You have to be in and do
Right.
it and live
Faith is a verb. It's an you have
That's
to live
right.
it, right?
An action verb.
Exactly, absolutely. So, Ann, what did you want to share?
Well, just real quickly, God was in this, like just totally in every aspect of it. Even recording the song, like Allegra was like a bull about it. She's like, I know a
I
producer.
know a producer.
I got a guy.
I can connect you to this person.
Nothing's
And she did
impossible
it.
with God, right?
It just worked out so smoothly, and he heard it. He heard it. I was playing it acoustically, and said, "I'll do it for you. I'll take care of it.
Yep.
I wanted to." Wow, if my career went like that, I mean,
know,
I'd be like a superstar right now. Like, oh yeah, it was so
You are
okay.
a superstar.
Well,
In heaven.
Yeah.
Yes,
saying.
absolutely.
so that song being recorded that way was really helpful in our Bible studies, and it went along with the book. And yeah, it was
Wow.
beautiful the way it
Another
happened.
supernatural event.
Oh my
Everything.
God.
One of the things that's so special about this book is it has these little certificates
Oh.
in them. So again, when you know who you are, and our desire was that the women that did the study would have a tangible reminder that they are the princess of a king, and they have been adopted by God. So there's a certificate for a birth
is so
certificate for the
cool.
child, and
Adoption.
it's just adoption,
Yeah.
that health, that certificate of good health. So all those ways, it just ministers to the heart in many dimensions. I think that's what's unique about it and special.
And it's very interactive. The
it
book
is.
is, yeah.
It
very
is. I mean,
interactive.
again, the artwork draws you in. You will never forget that lamb.
Oh my God.
And when you're in chapter
Right?
15 of John, you're going to remember that lamb.
Yeah.
That your shepherd knows your voice.
And knows every hair on your head,
Yeah.
even though mine fall out like crazy.
You've got
Oh
lots
my
of hair.
Gosh, that's so funny. So you had shared, I think it was you shared about your trip. I'm going to go back to India because didn't you have to they didn't want you doing what you were doing, correct?
Well, that's in any mission field. There's
Yeah.
always opposition, but India has very strict, guidelines that we adhere to. We went under another ministry, Mountain. What was it called?
But you might be thinking of when I got deported from India. Did
That's
I?
what-
that,
okay,
oh, that
that's
was
what
another
I
mission
apologize.
trip. I got deported for preaching the gospel.
I apologize. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I know because I have had all of these ladies on with Dawn and Freddie's show, and so if you haven't seen it, you need to go back because these women have powerful, powerful stories. So what I'd like to do now is just have you sing your song because we want the complete song to be sung because it needs to go out to everybody.
So beautiful.
I am your masterpiece. You created me, and I will glorify you through eternity. Your love has promised me a joy I've never known. Each step I take, I know I'll never walk alone. I am the sheep in need. You have rescued me, and you protect me from the schemes of the enemy. You light the path, and I will follow you. Every step I take reveals these hands of love, holding me when I am crying out for you to heal my wounds. These hands of love bring me hope and bring me peace. They cover my whole heart and soul. These hands of love, ooh, these hands of love.
That was, wait. Woo! Boy, you know, I've only heard that like two times, and I'm singing along. Thank God I put the mic down because I'm terrible. But man, that was just so incredibly beautiful, girl.
Thank you.
Oh, I just feel it at peace right now. You know, it's like whoosh. So I'm going to go around and share your final thought and share how people can get in touch with you.
Start with me.
Sure, I'm looking at you.
My final thought is I just love the Lord, and I'm so thankful that He uses us as He picks us up as a paintbrush, as a guitar, as a typewriter, and He uses us in the most amazing ways. And it's really just such a joy to flow in the Spirit like that. And I'm so very thankful. And how they can get in touch with me is my email address, Allegra, Allegra, Ltd, like Allegra Limited, at Comcast.net.
Oh, awesome. Miss Linda Cucci.
Oh, so I just think that how great God is that we have, again,
Mike, girl.
whatever
I'm
we
going to train you.
I'm
You're going to
so
carry that
sorry.
mic right near your
Okay,
mouth.
I got to do this better. Sorry. So I just,
Talk into the mic.
I think that it's incredible, and each one of us would be, we are a living testimony of God's way. He says He makes beauty of ashes, and He takes sometimes what we think is going to be, with us the rest of our life, and He creates something beautiful. And I think that the beautiful thing about Hands of Love is that every chapter reminds us of who God is as our Father, as our Shepherd, as our King, our Healer, but who we are in Him. We are a daughter of the King of the Most High God. So I think what a treasure that is to pass on to others, that they would too know the joy that we have in Him.
Awesome. And how do they get in touch with you, Linda?
Linda Cucci, LindaCucci @gmail.com.
I love your last name. And how do they get the book?
So you can get the book on Amazon, Walmart. It's in different places, and it is going into the prisons. As Allegra and I prayed,
Awesome.
the ministry Field of Flowers now has it part of a Bible study, and that's just, it's all over the place. It's
Oh,
going
I love
into
that.
all the prisons that women
That is so wonderful.
need hope in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Miss Ann, gorgeous voice. Gorgeous lady.
I guess my final thought is that it really, for me, it has been an amazing journey of healing. And it, to be perfectly honest, when my suffering started, it wasn't God that I saw, it was the enemy. And I saw him so clearly that I thought, okay, no. This is not going to be. This is not going to happen. And I wanted to know who God was, because I didn't want that at all. So I was on a mission to know who this God was. And I had questions, and I was angry. And Linda, was my mentor at that time, and she saw the anger. But I wanted to know who He was, and I wanted to know why He was doing this. And I did get my answers.
Good.
And
Well, if you seek, he'll tell you.
I can't imagine ever going back to unbelief or to my questions.
Anger.
My questions have been answered.
Yeah.
So I just can't imagine ever, going to the other guy.
Amazing.
Done.
Well, listen, thank you, ladies. I love you all so very much. And we're actually, Linda and I, next week, we're going to do fellowship food and family. And we're Sicilian sisters, and then Anne's going to be singing in Italian, but also some wonderful faith songs to glorify our Heavenly Father. Join us next week, and thank you so much. I'm so excited. Make sure you subscribe and like and share with all your friends and family and even people you don't know. Thanks. Y'all take care. Thank you for watching Faith Stories, where you will hear stories of hope, faith, and love. Please join us next week, and remember, God meets you where you are, but doesn't leave you where you are.